the Kyrie Irving Isaiah Thomas trade was finally finalized.
Yeah.
So everything's official. It's official. Kyrie Irving will now be the franchise player of the Boston Celtics, and Isaiah Thomas will now be probably the starting point guard with LeBron James and the Cavaliers. And the trade plays out now with Cleveland gets Isaiah, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, which is a center from overseas, a European guy, first round pick for the Celtics last year. They get the 2018 Brooklyn Nets unprotected first round pick,
which is probably
and then they get thrown in a 2020 second round pick from the Celtics to complete the deal. All Boston gets is Kyrie Irving, but they do get a top 5 closer, top 5 point guard in his prime, and one of the most commercialized athletes right now in the NBA, in Uncle Drew.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about this trade? Who do you feel is the winner? Do you feel is a loser here? What's your thoughts?
It's a lot. People say there's a Cavaliers won the deal. I think they got the more bunch of the deal, but I think also the Celtics won the deal in the sense of they got the guy they wanted.
Correct.
So they went for Hayward in the off season. They knew that's the guy they wanted. I'm pretty sure they wanted Kyrie from off rip. They wanted a closing point guard to set up this team. They got their player in Jason Tatum in the draft.
Correct.
I think Celtics feel that they won it, and I think on the season will really show how much they showed. But I mean, how much if who really has won it, in the sense of how the Celtics go on from here, as far as a team. Cavaliers, they're gonna be Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
With or without anyone in there. If you still got LeBron James, they're going to be the Cavaliers. So, I guess in the long term, they did win it for the draft picks.
Sure.
So, it's short term, Celtics. Long term, Cavs. That's how I feel about
it. Okay. I mean, for me, I felt like it was a win-win. I don't think there's really any loser here.
Mm-hmm.
I think both teams was able to better their own situations. I think what's not really being mentioned about this is the Celtics are completely a new team now. Like they're a completely new team.
That's not the team that was played the Cavs last year.
Yeah, their main players were Avery Bradley, Isaiah Thomas, and Jay Crowder. All 3 of them are no longer part of that roster. So their whole identity is going to change this season coming.
You don't know who you're playing right now.
So I think already people saying that they got better, or they'll take the Cavs now to 7 games or 6 games in the conference finals. I'm not even so sold that they'll make it back to the conference finals this coming season, because this team has to find a way to gel. They have to find an identity. That might take some months, because none of these players have played together, and this is not already a team where you know how they're going to play. But I do think the talent is there. With Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown easily slides into the 3 position. You have Gordon Hayward there. And then you have now Kyrie Irving, who now gets unleashed the same way James Harden did when he was able to go to Houston and no longer had to play behind Durant and Westbrook. So I think you can have an MVP caliber season from Kyrie Irving. But on the Cavs side, I think they made themselves better for not only the season, they made themselves better to win a championship. Meaning that they made themselves better against the Golden State Warriors. Whereas last year, we saw Richard Jefferson having to guard Kevin Durant for large stretches. That now becomes Jay Crowder, who can shoot the ball a lot better than Richard Jefferson, is younger, more athletic, and a better defensive player than Richard Jefferson. So now he easily plugs him in, and that gives LeBron James the opportunity to save energy and be able to guard Kevin Durant when he wants to, but Jay Crowder will get that assignment. And as far as the Kyrie Irving, well, Isaiah Thomas averaged more points than Kyrie Irving the last 2 seasons. So the points, or what Kyrie was given to the Cavaliers, Isaiah's going to easily be able to replace and substitute. And then you add in the Zizic, which nobody's speaking about again. This is a first-round pick and a European player that's going to be able to come up on the bench and be able to get minutes for them in the future. So he's a future asset that they was able to gain. Then they got the treasured Brooklyn Nets pick, which might be the number 1 pick next year, and they can get the next LeBron James and Michael Porter Jr. in the next year's draft and let him come up behind LeBron James while they have all those pieces in place to win a championship every year. So that's why I feel this is a win-win.
I think they're just in the same level as they were last year. Maybe a little bit better in the sense, but I think what they're really going to do is Kevin Love and Zizic, they're going to try to trade those two as a package deal and get probably an elite, probably forward to put in that package and set that up. And then I think there'll be more of a challenging team. Maybe Carmelo Anthony.
I don't think Carmelo Anthony fits because I think you have to get yourself somebody better than Kevin Love. And I think there's only about 3 or 4 players in the league that would actually be better than Kevin Love at this point. And I think those players are not really on the market.
Hey, man,
like Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins would be the player that would take Cavaliers to the next level. Or even better than Kevin Love. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe so.
We'll see what happens. There could be more moves to go. Speaking of moves to go,